Good morning, everybody. It's Gwen with Crafty Lady Designs. Hope you're having a great Sunday. I have a new journal that I have just completed. I have taken several courses from various artists, and this is a course from Mrs. Cobb. It's called the Healing Junk Journal course, and I will down below put the her where you can get into her teachables. I've taken a few of her courses and they're great. She's a great teacher. And this was just kind of unique and really inspired me. This is made with a heavy duty type manila folder. And she tells on her uh, tutorial what to, I've got different thicknesses and weights of file folders. And this was, I forget the name of it. I got it at Walmart. So the upshot is this is kind of like a tri-fold. Um, a journal. Now I've covered this with, it's a pulse. I bought the fabric at Joann's. It's out of the upholstery area where they have the big long tubes of rolled fabrics, but it's not real heavy. Now you certainly could do a chair or whatever in it, and it's a toile. It's kind of a rosy colored toile. I just love it. Uh, However, it's not quite as heavy as a normal, uh, not normal, but as a heavy type fabric. I also bought the lace trim at Joann's by the yard. I absolutely love it. And then I crinkled up some seam binding with vintage photo to make the closure. There, the book measures closed like so, 5 1/4 by 9, with two 2-inch spines. Here's one spine, and here is another spine. There are two spines. I'm still working with my new layout, and I apologize if I kind of get out of focus. There are four signatures that are hand sewn in. And there are approximately 160 pages, more or less, with tags and inserts and various other things. So let's get into this. I really, really like it. When I first started working on it, I thought, oh, I don't know. I mean, of course, I watched the video and the teachable, and she just does a great job. Excuse me. But as I went along, I really, really do like it. So let's get inside and get into this nonsense. Now, I attached these. She did the closure different. It's on the middle of this side, and then it's on the end of this side. What I did, I took an eyelet. I have one of the large, oh, that punches the holes. Can't think of the name right now. Crocodile. I had the large, so I went in the side and where she located her, she sewed hers down. She hand machine stitched them down on either side. I like this look. I took a grommet and I run the seam binding through it, the hole, set the grommet. Of course, you can't see it; it's covered on the inside, and attached it that way. Which I really, and I had you got to angle it going that way, and then I just did another eyelet on this side and just did the little beak type closure. So that's my closure. Let's open it up and let's go inside. Now, when you open it up, you can see there are three sections. And here's the big spine, and here is the small spine that covers this and so. On the inside cover, I covered this with a piece of cardstock. Excuse me, it's Prima. I don't remember the name of the collection. I've had it for a good while. I also took a piece of canvas that she recommended in the course. And then I took all the photos in here are Mrs. Cogg's photos that she provides with the course that you can download from the course, not the Etsy shop, but from the course, which is included in the cost. I took a piece of muslin, I cut it out with baking shears, my mother's baking shears, which are quite old. I zigzagged the photo on. Let me bring this up a little closer. I zigzagged the photo on. Oh, there we go. on the canvas, and then I put a row of lace. And this lace I also bought at Joann's, and then some flat back pearls. Now, these pages are Nick the Booksmith's, I do believe. I had downloaded some of her uh, Etsy store, and I printed these on coffee dyed paper. All the paper is hand coffee dyed, and I also have ledger paper that I coffee dyed, and etc. So the images, they're like digital images, and they are from Nick the Booksmith. So here's the first page. Here's a Mrs. Edith Holden page. There's a lot of tags, there's a lot of stenciling. This is a stencil page. This is, of course, a doily. This is from Denise's shop, A Tattered Dream. This is a piece of uh, calligraphy paper. I buy this at Michael's in the arts section, where they got the arts and the paints and the pens and that type of thing. This is my coffee dyed ledger paper. This is a book. I think this is, I don't know what it is. It's a book, and then I kind of hand stamped it. Here's another Mrs. Cogg's photo. This is the beekeeper photo, and stenciled on the back, in which I sewed onto the paper. Piece of music paper I ordered from Etsy, and I apologize, I can't recall where I got it, but I love it. Now this is a little library pocket. It's small. I made it, and I just got a bird stamped on it and another stamp. These are just some scraps of book pages I had, and I just put them on the back of cardstock and stamped on the top. This is a graphic 45 uh, tag, and then I also have the graphic 45 die cut that cuts out the designer paper to cover it with. Love it. I've got all sizes. So we go on to the next page. Here's a piece of shorthand page. This is uh, a pocket that I made with a stencil on the top. Now I took this little bag. This is just decorative. Now you could make it to put something in, but I just closed it up and stamped on it and used one of Tim Holtz's little milk carton uh, to close it up. And then the stamp on it says "Follow Your Dream," and it just is for embellishment. You could open it up and not close it up, but I did. This is from Graphic 45. It's a horse. It came from a collection, and I think I bought these cards and embellishments from Tuesday Morning. And then you could journal on the back, and it's just in here as well. This is a typewriter page, and this is the center of our first signature. Here are the strings. I did not put, Mrs. Cog always puts little embellishments on her strings. I do sometimes, but I didn't this time. This is the ending of our first signature. No, it's not quite yet. This is a card. Now, this I saw from Yvonne. I just bought one of Yvonne's books. It's absolutely gorgeous. I am just so happy with it. But Yvonne made these, and these are from a piece of standard 8.5 11 paper, folded long ways in half and folded, etc. You can go to her site and see how to do it. Now, I fold mine up different than she does, so there's no gap here where you can see where the fold is. And then, of course, I stenciled on it, stenciled on the back page. This is a card, was inspired by Mrs. Cog. She makes these are clever. It takes these ruled cards, and I think these are the small ones. I coffee dyed them, and then I stamped on them. I got a set of stamps that are from Stamping Up that are from like a dictionary. The definition of the word thanks is on here. This is a little bee, and this is part of the fabric that I used to cover the book in, and then I just used a pen, bulb pen or garment pen, and this is one of Tim Holtz's little new metal tags, and it says number 365. So that's going to go in here. I got that glued a little tight, but it's okay. And then this, so it's a two pocket tag, and this is one of I don't know. I've had this one. I don't know where this came from. This is not a Mrs. Cogs. I don't think. Here's the back side of the shorthand. Here's the back side of the music. And this is just the back side. Now here is part of the, I didn't cut down the, book paper or the ledger paper. I just folded it up and made a pocket. This is part of Graphic 45's, this is kind of an eclectic type embellishments. This was called the Healing Junk Journal, which on her Teachable, it's a book on healing and what you can use to heal and nature's healing and et cetera, et cetera. I didn't use that theme. So this is more of a eclectic of just ephemera. This is Graphic 45. This is just a normal book tag that I coffee stained, and then I stenciled on the side, which goes into our flap. This is another digital, another calligraphy paper. This is just a stamp that says little moments make big memories. I did get a new little stamp here. I just love them. And here's the back side of Edith Holden's book page. And there is the back side of the first signature. And there again, this is a digital stamp page that I downloaded from Nick the Booksmith. Here is our second signature. Now they're primarily the same. So I'm trying, I probably need to speed this up, but I'm going to go through them a little faster. But anything different I'm going to point out. This there again is Nick's digital stamp. You open it up. Here's a Edith Holden. Here's another ledger, and here's another calligraphy. Here's another Mrs. Cogs picture. That's on the beach type picture, and I sewed it on the page. Here's a piece of A Sunday Will Never Be the Same. It's a old piece of music. I ordered this old music, as I say, online, and I do apologize. I forget where I got it. If I can find that, I'll put it down below. Here's another tri-pocket that was a takeoff on Yvonne. This is part of Graphic 45. You could journal on the back. This slips down in there, and then this is just a coffee dyed tag that you could journal on as well. I used a lot of tags. A doily from Denise's Shop, A Tattered Dream. Another piece of calligraphy paper. More stenciling. This is the center of her signature. This is another small library card that I made, and I just stamped on it. This is just a little blank tag. I have a punch that punches these out, and it's just plain. You could write a little note on. These are just little tags from the office supply. I bought 100 of them and dumped them in the coffee, whatever, and I just stamped a little butterfly on it, and it's still got the string on it, just for some embellishment. Excuse me. Here's the back side of the doily and the calligraphy paper in the book. Now this is one of Mrs. Cogg's photos or that she provides in the course, and I cut it out and made a pocket out of it. This is another one of Graphic 45's ephemera pack. I got that ephemera pack for a little nothing over Tuesday morning. You know, everybody talks about Tuesday, and I do go to Tuesday morning. We have one. I'm from Indiana, and we have one in Carmel, Indiana. I know, I forget, Lala? No, not Lala. But anyway, Tuesday morning, I understood, was they buy sellouts of craft stores, and well, various other. They have many, many things besides crafts. So when somebody said I got this at the craft store, that doesn't mean my craft store is going to have the same thing, I don't think. But it doesn't matter. I go there all the time. This is just a little book that I made. It's hand sewn with a 3-hole pamphlet stitch to make notes in. It's just a cut off, folded in half, and I stamped on it, and or I didn't stamp, I uh, embellished it, and then I took some cut-offs of the coffee dyed paper and folded in half and sewed it together. This is a piece of the music paper. There again, it was longer. I just folded it in half. Here's another one of the index cards that I made from Mrs. Coggs. She's got a tutorial on this, and this is the definition of cheer. This has got some of Tim's. Boy, I'm not talking well today. I don't know. Uh, oh, his the kids, the people, the paper dolls. Yes, there it is. Okay, and then we go on, and we have another side pocket. Oh, here's of course uh, shorthand. We have another side pocket. This is just a bingo card. I use this one because of the color. It's kind of pinkish and pretty. This is just another. Now this is a uh, a template from Tim Holtz, one of the small ones. And then I kind of sprayed that with some, I don't know if you can see it or not. It's, Lindy Stamp Game. It's kind of a golden color. Here's the back part of Edith Holden. And here is the back of our second signature. Here's the front of our first signature, again with Nick the Booksmith's digital layouts. You open it up. Here's an Edith Holden. Here's another embellished page. Virtually they're the same. Here is, now this is Mrs. Coggs. This is included in the tutorial. All these of her embellishments are included. And I sewed it down on the machine. On the page, here is a book page. And here's one of my new stamps. I just love it. They came in a little box. They were on sale and they're really cute. Of course, that's ledger paper. I made this. Now, this is a pocket made out of a piece of embellishment that I had. It's not Mrs. Coggs. Here's another one of the little bags that I sealed up for Tim Holtz milk caps. It's just a little paper bag, and I think I got these at Hobby Lobby. I'm not sure. And I stamped it with a new stamp. That's a new stamp as well, the wheat. This is just a greeting card. I had this. It's just a thank you greeting card that you could take out and send to somebody. It's just a standard. Well, it's a little smaller than standard. I didn't have the envelope. I just had the card, and I thought it was really, really cute. So you could use that, or you could journal inside of it and leave it in. This is a Rita Donnelly flip, like so, and I embellished it with some of the lace. This is just a little, it's got my insignia on the back of it, my G. This is just a cut off, no, this is a card, a plain card that I have did some digital stamping, and it says you can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. C.S. Lewis, with a little flower. This is another little book. Now, the reason I say this is eclectic, I had this little book. I was in Nick the Booksmith's If You Were on an Island type thing, and I made these little books, and I didn't use all of them, so I'm including it. And it's just a little 3-hole pamphlet stitch. It's just a little book to journal in. Here is another graphic 45 tag. I had bought the tags, and then I used the die to use the designer paper, put a flower on, the bottom flower, and I put ribbon in the top. Here's another music page, another shorthand. Now I made this folded out, and I think I saw this on Yvonne's as well. I'm not real sure, but I did. So this folded all out and whatever, but I sealed it all up, and here's a pocket, and here is a pocket at the top. Now this did run all the way through and it opened up and blah, blah, blah. I sealed it up down here, so I just have a pocket up here. This is just a layaway tag from Denise's shop. And here's a pocket that you could put something in. I didn't. And I folded it down. And this is one of Mrs. Cogg's bees. In that, I just love it. And I, of course, zigzagged it on the machine. You could leave this open, but I closed it up to show the pretty picture. This is a piece of a typing magazine. Here's my center of my signature. This is a Mrs. No, this is not a Mrs. Cogg's. I had this ephemera and I don't know. And it may be hers. I'm not real sure. But it's a substantial piece. And I zigzagged it on. And the paper, I took some coffee dyed paper. I don't know if you can see it. But right along here. And I punched out along the side of it. It looks like it came out of a spiral book. And then I sewed it all the way around. It's not a pocket. And I sewed it all around and glued it on. It's not so. It's glued to the page, but not so. But there again, I cut all that out with a stamp or a punch. Of course, that's more paper. This is another music fold. This is another layaway card. I think you use a lot of these. And here's another card from Mrs. Clogg's tutorial. This says friends, and I have two of the paper dolls on there, two ladies that are friends. And it was so cute. Those, they're 3x5. They're 3x5 cards. And she has a tutorial on them, and it's really clever. Here's another one of her pictures that comes with and I just sewed it. I did sew it on. No, I didn't. I sewed it around three sides and glued it on. This is so I could make a pocket out of it. This is just a little tag that I had. And there's one of my new stamps. There were three. Love them. Okay. This is another, I did a lot of the layaway tags. This is folded over with a tuck spot with the, here's a book page. Here's another small library card. And this is a Tim Holtz. It's like well, it's a card. And then this is just another cutoff that I put on the piece of paper or cardstock and just stamped on top of it just for some embellishment. There again is the calligraphy paper, the doily, another Mrs. Coggs. Now some of these I moved around; they're not all the same. And this is our last signature. And there again, this is I got a boo boo. I think I have I don't know what in my finger. Anyway, this is Nick's. So this is our last signature. This is Edith Holden, stencil. Denise's shop, A Tattered Dream. Here's the calligraphy paper from Hobby Lobby. This is another one of Mrs. Cogg's. It comes with its flowers, I think. Flowers and bees. I can't remember. On stencil, here's the other ledger paper, piece of book paper. Now I made this pocket, and there again, this is Mrs. Cogg's. Came with the tutorial. I made a pocket out of it. This is just a little envelope I made a long time ago, just out of some paper, and I zigzagged all the way around it. I don't have anything in it, but you could make something down inside. And then I just made a little, and I zigzagged all the way around it, and I made a little stop here with a little medallion, and that goes down in like so. I put some things on the inside here so it puff out. It's glued directly to the page, but it has some side things. This is just one of those little brown tags. This is just a little, I don't know, I ordered some things. I think it was the music paper from this lady, and she sent me some extra things, and they're just little glue stickers, but I really like them. I've used them quite a bit. So this goes down in our pocket. Music paper. Now here's another two section side corner pockets. This is just some um, paper. I think it's 60, 80 pound paper that I just stenciled on. It's a little different stencil. This is another little book that I made that I had made. It's got a little parrot on it and some birds that I made for the one journal that I made for next little deal. Shorthand. Here's another book page. Oh no, that's a typewriter page. And that's the center of our last signature, it's a typewriter. Excuse me. Um, this is the music paper. The music paper, I did cut it down in height, but I left it, it was longer to make a little flip. And this is just a cut off that I stamped a little bird on. I did some hand sewing, and I just stuck it in here. You could journal on it. This is just the back of a book page. This is another ledger page that I did coffee stain all this, and then there again, here's another. You could journal. You could journal on this as well. Calligraphy paper, doily, Mrs. Cogg, or Edith Holden's, and that is the back of our fourth signature. Now, this is the spine, like so. This, when I glued the book in, I sewed it to a false spine and put it in here. This is also part of the a collection. I can't think of the name of it, and I do apologize. And this is the spine. Now, when she shows you how to do this, there are two spines. So this was the second spine, of course, that covers over. And then I covered this part of it with pattern paper or cardstock. This is a spine that you're to make. And then I also, so it wasn't plain, I also put this down the side. So there we have it. And then there again, there's the inside. And it folds out like so. And of course, here's your I really like it. It's a chunky monkey, isn't it? I folded all the fabric around, and it's all handmade. And so we close it up like so, and we close this over like so. You got to keep in mind to keep everything. No, the ties are pretty long. Up here. Oh, there we go. They're pretty long ties. There again, can't go into detail, of course, because this is a tutorial. I mean, this is a class that you pay for. But anyway, it's worth every penny. I've taken several of hers, and of course, I've taken several of Nick's. I just really like the online classes. And as I said, I've taken several of both. I like the long, and there we have it. And see, this all lines up down below. Here's one spine. Here's the back. It's just plain. I didn't put anything. I love the fabric. And I was going to put a plate up here, but I didn't want to cover him up. And quite frankly, with this tying in the middle like it does, and then the lace, I did not put lace on the spine. I just wanted the lace. I wanted it more plain because of the fabric. I felt the fabric was busy enough. I really, really like it. I will have various information down below. I will have this on my Etsy shop. It's Book Art Design. I have a new Etsy shop. I would appreciate it if you would go over, and I will have the information down below. I also have some books for sale on capturedonpaper.com that I will put the information down below. If you go to my Etsy shop, I would really like some followers. It's new. It's not very old. And let me know that you've been there. And if you possibly may be interested, as I say, I don't know what I'm going to name it quite It's the tool. Uh, I don't know. I don't know. Uh, Hers was called the Healing Junk Journal. This is not the same theme, but I will give it a name, and it will be up probably either later this evening or tomorrow on my Etsy shop. I've got to take photos and do various things like that. I have another tutorial, not tutorial, I've got another video that I'm going to do here when I finish with this. It's kind of a show and tell. And if there's anything in here that you might be interested seeing a tutorial on, I'd be happy to do it. There again, this is Mrs. Cog's uh, Healing Journal, Healing Junk Journal course. I will put the information down below. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me, and I'll do the best I can to answer them. I'd love your comments. If you're not a follower of mine, I would be great to have you. If you are, I appreciate you coming back. I keep saying I've got quite a few and I was going to do a giveaway. I just don't know how to do that. I need several to sign up at one time, I think. And I get people viewing them, but got well over 1,400 people, but I don't get that many at one time. But that's okay. All right, this is going to be the end of this uh, version of giving you some examples and showing you my videos. If there's any questions there, again, as I say, feel free to ask. Thank you for joining me today, and I will see you very soon on the next video. Bye-bye.